welcome to my channel. If it's your first time watching, it's such a pleasure to have you. On this channel, we share truths in relatable ways. And today, we are doing it differently because shortly, I'll be hosting a guest for the first time on this channel. Now, in the first video, I told you that the reason why I started a YouTube channel was because someone suggested it to me. Well, that someone happens to be my guest today. I'll allow him to introduce himself when he comes up, but basically we continue the discussion that we started last episode about the 3-step mistake protocol. After that discussion, I'll be sharing with you an illustration that I believe you won't forget in a hurry. So don't go anywhere, and I'll see you in a bit. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Ajidara TV.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you as the very first guest on this channel.
My honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so before we jump right into the discussion, can we meet you?
Thank you. My name is Oluwaseun. I'm a digital entrepreneur and also a public servant. And it's a great pleasure to be on Ajidara TV.
You're welcome. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the 3-step mistake protocol that I started talking about in the last episode.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How much do you agree or disagree with the protocols I mentioned?
Yeah, I can't agree more to the 3 protocols you mentioned. You know, acknowledging your mistakes, appraising the situation, and acting constructively. Yeah, I totally agree to it.
All right, okay. But I still think I made it look very easy because when I make a mistake, actually the first thing that will come to my mind is not acknowledge, appraise, and act. Yeah, so let me ask you, why do you think it's difficult for us to handle mistakes correctly, even with all the knowledge that we have? Why is it difficult?
I will say ego, then I will say fear. You know, oftentimes when we make mistakes and our attention is drawn to it, you know, our first response or reaction is like, no, I couldn't have made this mistake. Like, we feel like we know it all, you know, so that ego usually comes to play.
Yeah.
And also we feel too big to be corrected. Like, you telling me, oh, what I did was wrong. I'll be like, who are you to tell me? You know, like, I'm a master of this. I've gained a lot of experience handling this situation, so you can't tell me. So ego is always there. So, you know, just imagine a junior officer trying to tell the senior officer that you were wrong. You know, you can tell how the senior officer will react.
Yeah.
But I feel we should be humble enough to admit our mistakes, learn from them, and you know, just move on.
Yeah, then you mentioned fear.
Yeah, I also mentioned fear, you know, and many of us are victims of this. When we make mistakes, we fear the fear of making another mistake, you know, the fear of what people will say, the fear of embarrassment, the fear of loss, you know, just fear generally.
Yeah,
you know.
and actually the aim of that video was actually to disabuse us from having fear of mistakes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, somebody asked me after the video off camera that do I think that it's possible to get to that point where you are never afraid of making mistakes? And I think the answer is yes, because with practice, when you make those good thoughts that we mentioned about mistakes, when you make them automatic, when they become automatic, then your response to mistakes also become automatic. So like they say, practice makes improvement. So the more you practice handling your mistakes correctly, the more you get better at it.
Yeah, and I also want to say, you know, if mistakes should be viewed or seen as a mechanism that increases our confidence to try it again, you know, trying different approach, you know, being innovative, and, you know, that way you overcome fear.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Let me ask you, is there any experience that you would like to share with us? Like maybe a mistake you made that you learned from or that has contributed in one way or the other to your success story, just to drive home the point.
Okay, yeah, there are a couple of them.
Okay.
I'll share one with you.
All right.
Some years ago, I was applying to an institution, so I was filling the form online, and I erroneously omitted a section. And, you know, I was just overexcited and went ahead. I didn't even go through it. So I just went ahead to submit. So I was expecting a positive response from the institution. Unfortunately, it came out negative, you know. So, you know, and my attention was drawn to the fact that I omitted a section. That's why I got that negative response. So, you know, I learned my mistakes, though I was not happy about it. but it's a mistake. I've learned my lesson, and I've learned to be thorough, when filling form or in anything I do generally, pay attention to more details. So I've learned from it, and I've moved past it. So
yeah, so hopefully
fine.
when a bigger opportunity comes up, you've already learned from your mistakes. So
Sure.
you're going to pay attention
Exactly.
to detail. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on Nigeria TV, we are all about expressing ourselves. So today that you're on Nigeria TV, I want to give you 1 minute to express yourself. Just tell us something you've been wanting to share with people. Just give it to us in 1 minute.
Okay, I will just say something in line with discussion for today.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want us to have, anytime we are trapped in fear of mistakes, we should have this mental video of a baby that is crawling, trying to walk. It's usually a process. And we see that babies, when they want to, during that process, they will fall, they will get up again, they will stumble, they will stagger, sometimes they will cry, so it hurts them, sometimes they cry and all that. But after a period of time, they gain stability and they gain mastery and they begin to walk. So when we make mistakes in life, it might hurt us. The consequences might have adverse effects on us, but we should, anytime we experience that, we should just think about a baby that is trying to crawl and walk. So that way you see that we are going to overcome fears of making mistakes again and become
all right,
successful.
so anytime you're stuck making a mistake, just remember your baby and you'll be encouraged. Okay, that's from our host. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for coming on this show. It's such a pleasure. On IG over the week, I called myself a group discussion leader, and here I am anchoring the discussion. And it's been fun. Having somebody else do all the talking while I just ask the questions. It's been fun. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. I hope if we extend the invitation to you at another time.
Sure, why not?
Thank you so much. All right, that's it for the discussion segment of this episode, but we're not done yet. Join me again. And we are back. I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as we did filming it. But I made a mistake somewhere close to the end of that discussion. Did you catch it? I intentionally left it in there. So if you did, let me know in the comments. So during the week, I came across a quote that said, "Success is not a beaming, shining mountain. It is a pile of mistakes that you're standing on instead of buried under." And when I read that, I went like, And then as I was digesting it, I did a remix in my head. And it sounded like, mistakes are valid steps on the ladder of success. Meaning that when you make a mistake, it doesn't mean you take a downward step on that ladder, because mistakes are also valid steps on the ladder of success. In other words, like we have said, mistakes don't take away from your success story. Rather, they add to it. And that's my illustration. I remember my guest also mentioned that when you're afraid of making mistakes, you should play a mental video of a child that is trying to walk, and that will encourage you. So here's a bonus mental picture that can also help you to overcome the fear of making mistakes. So when you make a mistake and fear is trying to convince you you're done, play the mental video of a child that is trying to walk, or see a mental picture of a man climbing a ladder. Remember the 3 steps in the protocol. Smile and say to yourself, "I got this." And even if you don't get it right the first time, try again the next time, because practice makes improvements. That's it on this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay inspired.